welcome back to another episode of our podcast, Beneath Your Skin. This is Gaia. I'm still trying to understand what the hell is going on around the world, but above all, I'm trying to understand why the hell I have wasted 2 hours of my life watching the second movie of the Exorcist saga. Hello, Zoe. How are you doing?
Well, apart from like some weird induced coma that this movie tried to put me in, I'm doing all right. I mean, the world is crazy, but it makes more sense than whatever the batshit that was going on this film. I don't understand how one of the greatest horror films ever made can have this as a sequel. I mean, there's a lot saying that sequels aren't as good as the original, but this one was just like, is it even a proper sequel to the movie? It's just nonsensical and badly acted. I was like,
Yes.
Linda Blair, you were amazing in the first Exorcist movie with all your visceral movements and your timing and your delivery. In this one, you were just like, I'm gonna pout my rosy lips at you. And if she said father one more time, father, 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 don't leave me, father. I'm like, shut up! Yeah.
I saw my fair share of ugly movies. This one took advantage of the word ugly. This was bad, but so bad that he only had one expression during the whole movie. He only had one expression. The whole movie was one nonsensical scene after one nonsensical scene, and they weren't even related. At some point, they have lost me so many times during this movie, so many times. And then at some point, when he's in Africa and he talks with the locust guy, then we find out it was only just a dream. And I was like, okay, you know what? You have lost me, but this time you won't get me back. I kept watching the movie to the end just because I was too lazy to raise and go away. I was in my room watching the movie, so I don't see why I should have gone anywhere else. I was comfortable in my room. But my God, this movie.
Oh.
I mean, the creepiest scene is when Linda Blair is creepy and smiling during the tip-tap dance. Close to the end of the movie. That was the only
tip tap dance. Yeah. Beautiful, yes. Which even then I don't understand what the point of the dance was. Like, why was she in a dance troupe? Like, why was she in New York? Why everything about this movie makes zero sense. I can't even analyze it scene by scene because the whole thing is a load of made up gibberish smooshed together. Like, the original idea that someone is investigating Father Merrin's death, fair enough, you go in with that. But what about, like, Father Karras? Not a single person cares that he died. Like, he's not mentioned once in the movie. It's only like, oh, Father Merrin died, you better investigate that. You know who else died? Like, a friend of the family died falling out the window down those stairs. Like, you know, Father Merrin died in the room, and Father Karras died falling out the window on their stairs. Who cares about any of the people that jumped out a bloody window? No, an old priest that had a heart attack on a girl's bedroom floor. We better investigate it. I was like, fine, but I felt really bad because Karras is never even mentioned in the movie. And the only bit of the film that I felt was remotely, like, had anything to do with The Exorcist or a horror movie was the bit when they're doing that bit when they're, like, massaging the heart, and then you see a close-up of a real heart, and there's fingers in the heart, and it's a bit icky. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit icky. And they're, like, that fight over the heart, and you've got, like, and there's, like, yeah, and the overlays. I'm like, okay, that's a cool idea. The end. Oh, I can't begin to go like on this nonsensical. First, I think it's far more likely to be possessed by a demon than it is to be hypnotized by a blinking machine in a hospital for clearly children with special needs that have glass walls. I'm like, this is clearly a research facility. This is child abuse. This is friggin' weird. This is like, how old is Linda Blair meant to be? Because I think she's meant to be about 16. Can the girl put a bra on? I'm just going to tip tap with my little bouncing boobies, and I'm like, I don't want to see Linda Blair's bouncing boobies. And then she's always in the white virginal dress, the fucking lip gloss. Ooh, lip gloss and bouncy boobies. Ooh, let's help the special children that are left in pens to be experimented on in glass fudging cages. I'm like, this is not a freaking like aquarium for autistic kids. I was like, child services needs to be called. Linda Blair needs to put a bra on. That doctor is a quack. And then, like, the priest, there was, like, he literally goes from, like, oh, there's nearly a fire, to, oh, my God, you are the greatest thing. Your device is going to save mankind. And she's like, calm it down, dude. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's got obsessed quickly. I was like, wrong man for the job. Like, he's literally, like, obsessed with the blinky, hypnotizy bullshit machine. And the entire film, like, there's no demons in it. There's no supernatural anything happening. There's just some weird-ass scenes about locusts and Africa and stuff. And I'm like, why you do... I mean, I know they're trying to tie it all into the whole, like, oh, well, Father Merrin did an exorcism case in Africa. We knew this. But the thing is, he found the totem. He chased Pazuzu to, like, Iraq. But now we're going back to Africa, and we're going back to different parts of Africa, and we're having a bit of a magical journey of like, oh, here's some Muslim culture, here's some voodoo doctors, here's some naked titties, because it's funny. And I was just like, why am I seeing random titties now? Here's locusts, and then locust view, and you get from the point of view of the locust, and it's just the head going, ooh, I'm a locust, ooh. And you're just like, and then there's like weird dudes with hand-stitched locust costumes that live in a cage. And I'm like, where in Africa did you find the sequins to sew together to make the sparkly eyeballs? Because it was made of little sequins to make a locust thing. And then it's like, oh, I must step on the water. No, I fell over. No, I'm not really there. I've actually met a doctor who's experimenting on locusts to stop them rampaging people's crops. And I'm like, I don't know anymore. You know, if they'd just left her alone, the demon would never have come back. They awoke the stupid thing.
I can't agree with you more. I mean, the movie was so bad and it made no sense. So the only thing I really enjoyed during the movie was the soundtrack. And then I realized it was composed by Ennio Morricone. So yeah, okay, that was almost 100% sure I would have loved the music, but it was wasted on a movie like this, because really, I mean, he probably was going through a very hard time in his life to even say yes to this project. I mean, he probably was starving or whatever, because really? Oh, come on. No. You created some of the best pieces of music for movies in the whole history of movies, and you said yes to this. I wanted to point out what doesn't make any sense in this movie. So, at first, we see Regan McNeil being given to the care of Shannon. Then, at some point, we find out that no, the doctor has custody of Regan while her mother is away. Okay, wait, how does it work? I am lost. Then we find out that probably the doctor, who is a divorced woman, doesn't even have the custody of his own children. So someone who doesn't have custody of his own children, because when the priest asks her if she has children of her own, she says yes, but she would love to spend more time with them, but it's hard being a divorced woman. So that implies that her husband has custody of her children. And then we find out, no, she has custody of Regan. What judge would give someone who couldn't even get custody of her own children, custody over someone else's children? Let's go home. So at first, in the original movie, we see the church being totally on Father Merrin's side. They think he knows what he's doing. They think he's a a very valuable member of the church. In this movie, no, the church is back being bad and evil. So they are trying to discredit Father Merrin. So they want to know if they have legal ground to discredit him after that. So they send another Jesuit investigating what the hell happened. An old priest died during an exorcism. It's not so hard to believe that that was really happened. So, okay, no. Well, he goes. He's losing his faith. Really? Once again? Can we for once have a priest who doesn't lose his faith? Just for a change, please. So, okay, he goes. He's sure. He watches a doctor and a child looking at a machine with blimpy lights. And I still don't understand how that thing works, because except for giving epileptic attacks to people who looks at that light too intently, what the hell is it supposed to do? We don't know. But we find out that it's so easy to jump into someone else's mind and memories that at some point they lose totally control over the machine and the plot, because not only you can enter into the memories and the mind of someone sitting in front of you, no, you go straight into the memories of a dead man, and those memories, neither of them were there to witness those memories. So how the hell did you know what happened in Africa 20 years ago? One wasn't even born yet, and the other one wasn't there. Okay, no, yeah, let's go on. The doctor just saw an autistic child starting to talk for the first time in her life. Want to do, okay, he goes to Africa, because of course, when you are thrown out from the church, you go to Africa because you need to find yourself. Okay, let's go. Let everyone to Africa with him. Okay, perfect. We are in Africa. We don't know where in Africa. And was an archaeologist too. Since when?
Oh yes, they were like, I'm an archaeologist. When? When were you?
Exactly. And he never puts back his holy clothes. So was he thrown out from the church? We don't know. We have no idea what the hell is happening. During the whole movie, we are so confused and so lost that we are like, what? What the hell is going on? And then this whole movie is a triumph of everything cliche in horror movies. So we have white doves and white dresses to indicate innocence. And then we have people walking through spears. We have people being where they are not supposed to be. They are still connected, even if they don't use the machine anymore. And then Pazuzu is there, and Pazuzu takes the priest to the locust man. Why the hell would Pazuzu help you? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense in that movie. Stop confusing me.
But this is not the mythology you set out. What is going on?
At some point, you really want for Pazuzu to win, just to stop this nonsense. And then, okay, let's put something sexual in this. Why? Because sex always sells. Okay, let's go. Let's do that. Let's put something sexual. So we turn Pazuzu into Regan, or Regan into Pazuzu. I still don't know that. And let's make them a succubus, trying to seduce the priest. Why? Why? And then, while all that shit is happening inside the house, outside the house, Shannon burns herself for whatever reason. The doctor sees the light and she understood finally. And then we find out that if you take a dumb plane and a taxi, you will arrive later than people taking a train and a bus. I always got it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was like, please, people, stop. And then the house breaks down and crumbles like the temple in Jerusalem when Jesus Christ died. And you are like, and what the hell is happening now? Why? I don't know.
And then the
I
locusts
really
come. And the locusts swarm in. And they're like, oh, you are the good locust. And I'm like, well, you haven't really explained what the good locust is. It's like, if Pazuzu is the one that sent him to the locust man, and then he failed the test anyway, and then he explains that, oh, this is the good locust, it's going to stop the thing going out of control to eat all the crops and stuff. And it's like, oh no, once the wings have touched you, it's too late. You're all locusts anyway. And then locusts come. And I'm like, oh, so is she the good locust that's going to stop them? So it wasn't Pazuzu sending the doctor, it was Reagan sending the doctor, although it was Dream Reagan. Although Reagan might also be possessed with the spirit of Father Merrin. It's like, and I was like, okay, so Reagan's now possessed with the spirit of Merrin, and Pazuzu's trying to get in, so there's a war waging on. She is also the human embodiment of a good locust, and somehow knows mystical African arts that if you swing your arm about, and I don't know, like in the hokey cokey or something, you can make locusts go away and also ward off evil. And I'm just like, that's the only way possible, is if she's semi-possessed by, like, Father Merrin. But priests don't go around possessing people. But she somehow, when Father Merrin died, she somehow got, his consciousness was projected into her, and then the machine allowed her to access it. That gave her back the... I'm like, this is pure science fiction now. This is science fiction, not horror. Can we stop having people astro-projecting into each other's consciousness? And then she's managed to, like, astro-project her consciousness to Africa, so she's lying in bed going, call me by my dream name, call me by my dream name. And he's like, yes, I must go see the man in the locust hat who's not real, and then actually go see some real locusts. And then locusts eat her house. And I don't get, like, was Sharon possessed at the end? Was Sharon, because she gets out the car, and then the doctor is like, no, Sharon, save me. And she doesn't. And then she said, well, at least see Reagan. And then Sharon's all like, why? Why should I save Reagan? I'm going to set myself on fire! Whee! And you're like, why? Why? And also, like, I don't know why. You know, the little things that annoy you. So, Reagan was staying with Sharon in that apartment. Whose the fudge's apartment was it? Because Sharon was also looking after the doctor's kids in that apartment. And it's not the doctor's apartment. But if Sharon's like a babysitter, how does she have the money to afford that apartment? Because, Jesus Christ, I kept thinking it was the mum's apartment in New York. And because she's a rich movie star, it was hers. And then Sharon was just like a live-in nanny. But I'm like, in all honesty...
I think that...
Yeah. I
think that was the answer.
Yes, so they're living in the mum's apartment, and also if your daughter had been put back in a mental asylum and priests were turning up, just like that happened, like, you know, however many years ago, wouldn't you have called the mum and gone, I know you're filming, but your daughter's in a mental hospital, stroke, she's run away with a priest, she might be in Africa, she might be a locust, it could be happening again, but any of these things might worry you. Maybe, you know, call the mum, because the mum wasn't a bad person, a bit selfish, but she's not going to be like, no, I can't come and visit my daughter. Oh, she run off with a priest, has she? And she's only 16 and she's got no money and she might be in Africa. No, I've got to finish just filming this movie. But then also, if your daughter is seeing a therapist and having regular, like, therapy, and why would you buy a house on a freaking roof of a building that doesn't have walls so that you can just fall off a roof? I'm like, oh, we think she might have psychological problems, maybe self-harm. But you know what would be really good? This really unsafe apartment made of glass, the banisters don't connect, so you could just walk off it in the night. I would be like, nope, I'd be in the world's most safest apartment. Yeah, it was like, they're all making stupid choices and doing weird things. And it's just like, oh, I'm just out here feeding the birdies, and that's good. Why are you... I mean, it's 1977. Why are you just wearing these weird white dresses? And it's just like... And when did you stop being able to act? And why are there locusts? Why? And locust cams and people dressed as locusts and then weird witch doctors waving wibbly things in the air. And then she just does that weird magical dance in the house at the end. And you're like... Okay, I get it. This evil is ancient, and most of everything, everything was created in Africa. Like, it's where everything was created. So the most ancients would come from there. But you need far more context before she's being the chosen one, the good locust. And you're like, what the fuck? So why is the film called The Heretic? I don't even get the title of the movie.
Basically, because Father Marin is accused to be an heretic. And for everything else, I have no idea, Zoe. I'm sorry, I can't help you because I don't know. I am so fucking confused about everything. And no. Okay,
It's
I was
bad.
lying. I think I know why the locust. Because they just sit down and decided to put into this movie everything they could think about. So let's start with the plague of Egypt, and then we go and we put something else, and then something else more, and then some more of whatever they decided to put, and they mix all together, and they say, "Hey, we have a movie." No, you don't.
Can you imagine? You saw the original one in the cinema, and it was such a big deal when it first came out, and then lots of people ran out the cinema, and then it got banned and stuff. But you were there. Then you find out they're making a sequel, and you go to the cinema to see it, and you're trapped in a cinema watching this. You'd be like, Jesus
No.
Christ. I mean, it's borderline science fiction with the fact that they've got some weird mind meld going on. But there's 4 personalities in this mind meld. There's a demon, Merrin, the main dude, and Reagan's all astro projecting all over the place. And then she's tap dancing. And I'm like, does she go to school? Is that her school? Is that her college? Is that the musical cast? Is that her job? Is she a chorus girl? What's going on? And when the other dude gets some rocks thrown at him, so she has a hissy fit and falls off the stage. And I'm like, why? Why?
I can't tell you what I would have done if I was around when this came out in theaters. I would have rioting inside the movie theater like no one else. Are you fucking kidding me? People paid to watch these thinking they were going to watch the Exorcist sequel, and they had to watch this. As I said before, I can't believe they found the money to make this movie, because honestly, if I was a producer back then, I would have told them, okay, you know what? This is not going to work. This will push people to revolt against the whole saga.
Yeah.
And then, because I hate myself, more or less, I went looking for information about the third movie of this saga, and I am like, oh my god, what the hell are we going to watch next?
Oh no, I downloaded it, I'm ready, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to after this. I don't know how it got money to make another one. This one must have bombed.
In truth, the other one has a funny story. It was supposed to be directed or co-directed by Blatty and Friedkin, but then Friedkin stepped back from the project, and so Blatty wrote and directed the movie. Yes, nothing can be as bad or worse as this one. So
yes, the only thing I will say that what I liked in this one is every now and again there was a beautiful scenic shot, and there was and some of them were sets and stuff, but a lot of care had been gone into designing all those sets with the caves in. But there was a scene when the aeroplane was flying past some clouds, and I thought that's beautiful. And when there was a scene of this really red sunset over the African village, and I was like, that's beautiful. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah, I think this movie wanted so desperately being linked to the original one that they since the beginning, they tried so hard with the picture of Father Marine inside the Bible, and then the red sunset, and we saw it in the first movie, and then the beautiful shooting, and we already saw it in the first movie. And then they tried somehow to fill what they thought were plot holes of the original movie without realizing that they were creating pure chaos with this movie. They weren't fixing anything, they were making everything worse.
Yeah.
So I have another question for you, Zoe.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. We saw the boy in the crop field covered in locusts,
Yeah.
and he's going around screaming, "I'm Pazuzu! My name is Pazuzu!" Why the hell the demon would offer freely his own name like that? Why? He wasn't even being exorcised in that scene.
Yeah.
Pazuzu!
It's like, that's not how it works. All the wonderful nuances and mythology that they set up in the first one. The second one, see all these things, we're going to give them background story, and then it takes away the mysticism, but it also makes no bloody sense. I love the fact that the first one, you kind of get the feeling at the end that they didn't defeat Pazuzu. They saved Regan, but Pazuzu is still out there. So a sequel can have Pazuzu going after somebody else, and you just use it as a way to do another like tale, but you turn it into a completely different setting. You go, okay, Pazuzu tried going after a young innocent girl. Now Pazuzu is going to go after, I don't know, a teenage like black boy, because no one cares about like, you know, that kind of like culture, and you change it up, and then you have the church having two factions, and so they send a believer and the person that's trying to prove that it never happened. Someone is going like, look, this didn't happen, we need to discredit the exorcisms, like, and so they send that person in to investigate it, and then someone else comes in going, no, we have to take this seriously, Pazuzu is still a threat. Like the father that, at the very end of the first Exorcist film, when the guy was like, oh, I've seen that movie at the cinema, and they walk off Casablanca style, bring him back to go, like, and it basically, and he goes, like, look, they died and we saved Regan, but he still thinks Pazuzu is out there. So he goes on a journey through Merrin's history to find out, like, everywhere Merrin's been, the people he's talked to, and he's digging and digging so that he is ready for when Pazuzu comes out of hiding. He's like ready, but the church just think he's gone balmy looking for Pazuzu, and times have moved on, and they're like, no, just like, so they send someone to discredit it all, and then they have to kind of work together to save the life of, like, someone that is, you know, society's not looking very like good for and stuff. And there was a lot of like race riots and things going on in the 70s, because it always is in America. They could have given it a different setting. That's what I would do. That's my Exorcist 2. That's what would happen if I wrote the movie.
Yes. And okay, that you want to send someone to discredit Father Marin, you don't send his own pupil. Come on. And then the beautiful hand of the first Exorcist movie with Father Karras sacrificing himself after he took Pazuzu inside, you made that useless because Pazuzu was still hiding inside Regan. Really?
Yeah.
Why the hell? And then you talk about locusts and good locusts, and why the hell did I watch a movie about a good locust?
God, that's it. So yeah, they totally like made that sacrifice, but that's what. So it should have been a friend or a pupil or something of Karras that they send in to discredit Merrin, because he's really upset that his friend died, but no one cares about his death. They only care about Merrin's death because they're like, oh well, he clearly just committed suicide by jumping out a window. So he goes into discredit. Meanwhile, the guy from the first movie is still trying to like make sure Pazuzu doesn't come back.
Let's do this instead.
Let's go on a magical weird journey of surrealism and freaking science fiction with astro projecting linked consciousness. Don't give me that rubbish. Like,
if I wanted to watch a sci-fi movie, I would have watched one.
Yeah, like Inception.
Exactly, not this.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
god.
I wanted to
Oh
watch,
god.
an Exorcist film. This was just,
Yeah.
so bad. Hated it.
Yeah.
Truly hated
Yeah,
it.
me too. Yeah, me too. And we didn't even see real exorcism during the whole movie.
I mean,
Come on.
I don't even know if we saw a real demon through the whole movie. It could just be like,
True.
her
True.
psychological problems and a really obsessive priest.
Yeah.
Like,
And in the end, the doctor says, I finally understand. Good for you, doctor. Good for you, because I don't. I don't understand a single thing in this whole movie. So if you understand it, good for you. Yeah, you have a degree in psychiatry. Okay, I know why you understand this. Okay, people, I think we don't have any more salt to give
no.
for this movie. So thank you for listening. And please join us on our website, Beneath Your Skin, on Pinecast, and our Facebook page, Beneath Your Skin, or our Tumblr, Beneath Your Skin 2020. And let's see if this time I can get our Twitter account right. Hat beneath underscore your. So I think I got it right for once. Okay, we want to hear from you. We are waiting for you. So come here, come and join us, and have an amazing day. And bye bye.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed us basically having a salty rant. If there was ever a film that needed salting and burning, it was this one. And for the first time ever, I'm going to say, please don't watch it. Don't do it to yourselves. Just remember the first movie in all its glory and watch the TV show in all its wonder. But The Heretic, just pretend it didn't happen like we are going to. But for now, going to say bye-byes.